Hello, Ed and Scott. Welcome to DGA Live. The first one we've had in 2 weeks because I was at Memorial memorizing things. Like how well the tour series is flying. But hey, we'll get into that in a second. Your pipeline is in the mail. Lucky. Everybody slacker. Honestly, here's the thing. Let's just get all of our cards out. This is the only one that I have right now. It's Brian from Great Lakes Disc. So I got that out. I could have gone live technically, even if it was just from my phone, because I got home like an hour before we would normally go live. And I was actually planning on it and talking to Molly and just like, yeah, I think I'm going to try and dig the camera stuff out of the car, get it set up, go live again. And then shortly after I started talking about it, I came to an important realization, which was that I did not want to do that after driving 25 hours through storms and mountains, people sliding off the road, emergency pit stops. I realized the important fact that I did not want to do the live last week. So then I didn't. So that's the series of events that happened leading up to us postponing DGA Live to this week. So there you go. I just wanted to be honest with you guys. I didn't want to say that we didn't do live last week because I was at Memorial. Because frankly, I wasn't. I was here in my house. Asleep. Basically. All right. Well, we've got a lot going on. I know I do. I have so much content from Memorial. We're actually going to share a couple pieces of that here in this live stream. We can talk about Tour Series discs. We launched the 2023, the entire lineup. We have so many amazing players on our team this year. 6 of them having Tour Series discs. 7 players at least are at WACO right now. I need to scroll through and see if I'm missing anybody. But Cole, Andrew, Noah, Austin, Allie, Katrina playing. Some of them are currently on the course actually, which I'm assuming, yeah, it looks like maybe it's going to be a smaller show. I know a lot of people are actually watching WACO live right now. But no matter. Their loss. What do you want to watch? Paul Macbeth shoot 19 under at the Beast? Or do you want to hang out with us and talk about Tour Series discs, SP Flex, Swirl, Breakers, Ice Quakes? I know what I'd rather do. But I have to do this. All right, let's bring in Benjamin Sorensen. Hello. How's it going?
What's up, Tyler? What's up, DGA Nation?
Quite a bit. I haven't talked to you in a couple weeks. We were chatting in our sound check 10 minutes ago. What have you been up to?
Well, last week, like you, I did not want to do the live.
You were at
on
Memorial?
Friday
Oh, okay.
because I was dying from a plague.
Oh. Bubonic or bubonic?
Yes, it's stomonic.
Oh, the stomonic plague.
Yeah, the stomonic plague. It had me out of
Did you-
commission for days last week. So.
Did you make it?
Yeah, I cloned myself, and I just first version of myself go, and this is
Smart.
the new me.
Yeah, like the Prestige.
Mhm.
Great. Did you had to remove a finger so
Yeah.
that you matched the previous version of you, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of missing fingers outside the back of my house in a big pile.
Yeah. Great movie. We should watch that on the next DGA live. I'll just port it in, and we can just all watch that together.
I think there's actually a disc golf basket back there too. You just gotta look
Yeah.
closely. Hmm.
I could probably rip, something online and just use some special effects to just put baskets in at random points.
It's actually a great clip. Be like, take a spoof of a movie and just insert clips, and then be like, "Did you know there was
Did you
a
know there
disc
was?
golf
Yeah,
basket?"
I never knew there was a Mach 7 in Fast and Furious 7, which I guess it makes sense, but
But I mean, it's like when they're going through the park and you can just see it, and it's just like they're glowing.
that would be awesome. You take one of those whip pan shots of like one of the cars going, by, and wait, did you see that? And then you go by and you don't really see it, but as you like slow it down, you kind of start to see it until finally you get the freeze frame of like the Mach 7
Look,
right there.
a DGA Mach 7. They specifically brought this into the set of Fast and the Furious 14.
It's just like you as the cars drive by. Great question, Scott. There is no good answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that you're going to learn nearly as much about Tour Series discs from watching WACO Live.
No.
You're going to learn
Not
those
ours.
facts here.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, let's chat about Fountain Hills. I had never been in person, so it was delightful to see Vista and Fountain. I would say, here's my takeaway. I have been to now, I'm going to say 4 or 5 like famous courses, and I feel like usually they either feel bigger or smaller. Mm-hmm. Typically smaller. Like when you go to a famous course that you see the pros have been thrown on for a decade,
Like
or that you've been watching for a decade. Yeah. You go to it and you're like, oh, the basket is actually just right there. The holes are a lot shorter than they seem, I feel like, when you get there in person. Not to say they're easy at all. I think the camera just adds the epic nature of the competition and everything. It just kind of makes it feel like bigger than real life. So then you get there and it's, oh, this is actually a real golf shot that normal people can throw as well. Fountain Hills and Vista were the first courses that felt just right compared to what they seem on camera.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it feels like, wow, that is so much farther than it looks on camera. Or in Delaw's case, I kept saying this over and over at Dela, like, wow, it's just right there. Like that's a mid-range, So many people can navigate Dela with a squall and a steady. And it's all about the angles and how you're landing that determines your success there a lot of the time. But Fountain Hills and Vista both, I don't know what it was, but in person, they just felt exactly the same as they look on camera.
And then like fountains up in the hills just a little bit. Maybe it's not quite a mountain, maybe, but it's outside the city, like 30 minutes, it looks like.
Yeah, it's definitely still pretty populated. Even the connection, like it's all kind of metro. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's about 30-minute drive between them. And I guess I'd never really realized how much there isn't around Fountain Hills.
Right, because it's off in that, like, I don't know, valley, maybe?
And specifically just right there, like it's the pond, and then you have a couple feet all the way around the pond in a circle. And then beyond that, in all the 4 directions, there's nothing park-wise, And I think that is something my brain just hadn't really seen beyond what you're seeing on camera, it is literally just kind of a ribbon of grass uh, that goes in a circle around a lake. And it was awesome. I didn't play it. I only threw maybe 5 or 6 of the tee shots as we're walking around. And I'm like, oh, I really want to throw this one. Of course, number one, I had to throw number one. And I gotta tell you, it was Cole. I was filming Cole Riddall, and this was Monday evening that I got there. And he's warming up on hole one. I'm filming him several times, and I'm like, I'd like to throw one before we go. And it was kind of that like from this tee, sort of vibe. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not going to play the course and I'm not trying to score anything. Like, yeah, I'm going to throw one disc from the MPOT and come what may. Like, if you get to play TPC Sawgrass, you're not going to play from a tee that's not where you see all the main shots being hit from. You know what I mean? Like, of course I'm going to throw from this tee. And I almost did it. I should have played it safe. But again, it's the same vibe, right? Like, it's a very easy shot out to the right. Probably not in a tournament. And then the OB comes in to play long. But distance-wise, no big deal. Anybody with, 250 to 350 would find that hole pretty easy, I think, if you're playing it safe. But if you're going straight at it, yeah, you need 375 probably on it. Mm-hmm. And so I took my Ice Tempest and I threw right at the basket. And I threw it exactly how I wanted to. Just a little bit of hyzer release that flipped up to straight at the basket, and then it pulled over about 20 feet to the right. And I'm like, well, that's if I had a stack of 10, I could make that line. But for first shot, not warmed up, I'm like, best honest effort at throwing a good shot on this hole that I could do. And it was about 20 feet short in the water. So
and you fished it out, or?
Oh no, you can't see anything in that water.
Well, that's why you just take your little flashlight and you just the little, what is it, the Catfish Mario? You got to do your best Catfish Mario impression.
I'm not sure what a Catfish Mario is. I don't think catfishing is something that's generally a good thing.
Doesn't Mario and Luigi turn into catfish in one of the underwater episodes or underwater?
Did Mario catfish Luigi? Is that what you're asking me? Is that what we're going with?
Exactly what I'm asking.
Well, I think you kind of hear vague references to how gross the water is on coverage, but not until you get there. I mean, it's not sewage, but it is like reclaimed, wastewater. And so when the fountain goes off and it's kind of misting over everybody, there's a lot of like, yeah.
Like, feel gross. No. It's like, ugh, it gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man.
Yeah, it looks like a fun place to throw a couple of those shots. And a lot of those other shots, I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, I wish I could have played more. I would have loved to have actually played a whole round at Fountain or even Vista. I did throw a couple riffs on hole one at Vista. That was fun. That triple Mando.
Did you make them?
I made them.
Nice.
Little low and a little high, if I remember. So,
did you go to Spinners while you were at Vista?
I was at Spinners a couple times. I did not go into Duke's. I know.
It sounds great. You could go there early, have a beverage and some lunch, go play, and then come back and just kick it. I'm assuming they have disc golf on inside of this sports bar. It sounds like a fantastic place.
It didn't seem to be super
catered to disc golf.
No, gosh, and how do I say this as a spokesperson for our company? It wasn't giving off like you have to go in there
Oh, vibes.
vibes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the people, in reference to it, it was more like what you said. Like, did you go to Duke's? As opposed to like, yeah, you should go. You would really enjoy
Hmm.
it. You know. But I wish I would have, because on the Wednesday when we released the tour series, I forgot about lunch. And we had multiple people there helping the thing. I was just busy taking cards and running payments and helping set up the tent and filming things, and then all of a sudden it was 3:30 and we're packing up, and I'm like, man, I am ready for dinner. Wait a second. I had a cup of coffee this morning and that's it.
That's all I
So
had.
that's all I've had today. So and yeah, I could have just walked 100 feet up the hill to Duke's and gotten some lunch. That would have been nice. I wish I would have remembered that. Didn't. All right, who's here? What have I missed? Let me drop this in. I need to put the link in a couple places, like such as DGA all day.
Yeah, that would be a good place to put it.
I think I will put it in. Whoa, the heck. Wait. That's so weird that it's showing the preview from last week.
Yeah, I don't know why it was doing that.
I'm just going to post this in all day. If any of you are around Facebook, yeah, it's actually showing Rob again. Sorry, Rob. Well, don't get your hopes up. It's not Rob on 2 weeks in a row. Okay. Let's chat about some stuff. So what we have going on is myriad. We have Katrina Allen Tour Series Flex sale. Before we get to Tour Series, let's talk about 3 things that have dropped. Man, that's crazy. In addition to the 6 Tour Series that are coming soon, we've got 3 other special releases that have happened. By the way, we're also restocking like stock stuff as well. So good luck keeping up with everything going on with DGA right now. Start with Trevor Harbolt's fundraiser disc, the SP Flex Swirl Breaker. Never happened before. There's never been an SP Flex Swirl Breaker. Do you have those yet? Did you pick up? Whoa, there we go. All right, hang on.
Ta-da.
I got you. So let's chat about those. Trevor's breakers the last couple years have been staples in my bag. I don't know if you've always bagged breakers, but these, I feel like these are the most fun yet.
Yeah, I have an icebreaker that I've beat in a little bit, and it kind of flies in between, I don't know, my Flex Steady BL and maybe something like a Zone.
Yeah.
And it fits perfectly in that slot. I can throw it on flip up to flat forehands or like panning Annie backhand or forehands. It's a wonderful utility disc.
Yeah, kind of. There's a few, there's a few phrases with discs that get really tired. Yeah, you're right, Brian. This one was sent straight from Trevor himself. There's a few phrases that get kind of tired, I guess, but one of them is in any line you put it on, and I would say that probably is more true of understable discs. But I guess how I would adapt that to these is that this is a very versatile, it's a versatile mold, but in this plastic at this stability, I was noticing if I want this to be a beefcake, that's what it is with a comfortable amount of power for me. like an 80% throw. This is a very overstable breaker. But then I was out in the yard and I just threw it a little harder and threw it flat, and it held just for a long time and then just kind of sat down straight. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. You know, it's nice to see that it's not always going to be, you know, just left. So I can use the angle to determine what I want this to do.
Yeah, I'm really liking these for touch approach shots. I've been starting to work one into the bag, and these are nice because they're the flexiest breaker I have ever held. I know there's some other runs like this Andrew Marweed one or the LE Flex Swirl from
actually I have
Ledgestone last year. This is softer and more flexy than the Andrew Marweed SP ones, and it's maybe similar to
it might be softer than this. They're definitely very similar, but you got to keep in mind too that this is a year old, and I've bagged it consistently. You know, you can see just a little bit of the shape, you know, testament to the grapefruit breaker being thrown a lot. And the fact that these are close and maybe this one's even a little softer, I think tells you that out of the box, this is probably the more flexy of the two.
But yeah, I skipped one off the top of a basket today at my practice round. I was pretty happy with that.
That means nothing to me unless you tell us how far away you were, because I could do that too. Like, like this basket that's right here.
Yeah, it was probably an approach shot from like 120.
Oh, okay. That's better. That's impressive. I skipped. I'm going to use that, by the way. Every time I leave a course on the last hole, I'm just going to take a driver and just bank it off the top of the basket or just smash it into the cage and then be like, ah, my gosh, my coal pipeline. I absolutely skipped one off the top of the basket today. Jeez, it was so frustrating. They're fighting for supremacy. Well, yeah. Let us know. I mean, here's the thing. If you have both, then great. If you don't have both, please still get this, because remember, this is, you know, supporting Trevor directly. It's helping him fund his tour this year. So please pick up a Trevor Harbolt SP Flex Swirl breaker from GreatLakesDisc.com.
Hashtag Ride a Turtle.
Ride a Turtle. Let's get into more special releases, and I don't have mine here because the ice quake that was sent to me from another round, I took to Memorial and was letting everybody throw it, you know, feel it. They're so flat. It's like a first flight quake. But it actually made it home with one of our players. So I've ordered another one from throwanotherround.com.
He better ace with it this weekend, huh?
He better. He said if he still has it, that he'll get it back to me at Masters.
You know who you are. We're watching you.
He knows. Well, I was going to say there's a good chance he's watching this live right now because he's on hole 14 in Waco. So he's probably got this pulled up. He's going to be on DGN, and they're like, it looks like he's checking scores. And just you see the camera angle over his shoulder. He's just watching you and me right in the middle of its round.
And we're doing this. And then he's like, oh, my God.
I can't imagine. But that would be funny. Yeah, so I don't have an ice quake here in person, but I have had one for about a week, and I saw a lot of people throw it. And the hype is real about that, and frankly, you know, we can tease the Tour Series quake as well. However they ran the ice quakes and the Tour Series quakes, and people have been asking for it for years and years and years. Can we have first flight quakes again? Please try and figure out how to get first flight quakes again. And I know they've tried a number of different things to try and, you know, get them to be that beefy again. And for whatever reason, this time it worked. I would say both the ice quake and the Tour Series quake are that mega beefy overstability that you, like Turner said in his video, that you want in a, you want to get a first flight quake, but you don't have the time to look for one or the money to pay for one when you find it. You know, those go for a pretty penny right now.
I have one on the way too, so maybe we'll see which of us can ace with it first.
Well, let's check out. I've got videos to go along with all this. So let's check out this clip from Mr. Austin Turner.
If you love that first flight quake, but you don't want to pay the price for them, we are releasing with another round the Ice Quake. This is exactly like the FF. This is going to be very torque resistant, and you guys are going to love it. You can get it at throwanotherround.com right now.
Man, what a great video. That was inspiring.
So great.
Actually, I bought an Ice Quake right after watching that video.
What?
The timeline is I watched that video and then X amount of time after that I bought an Ice Quake. Now I also made that video, but I think that goes to show how compelling it is. I couldn't even keep myself from going to another round, throwanotherround.com, and buying an Ice Quake.
I think they have a couple of videos of Austin acing with it too, so you know it must be good.
If you're not following Another Round on Instagram, please do. There are so many videos of the Ice Quake in flight. Okay, we got a lot of questions coming in here. Marweed Splatter Stone Steady BL. I didn't bring some back, and I was so frustrated because I did bring back the Tour Series, and I could have brought back a couple Splatterstone BLs, and then I forgot because we were filming and just running, and it was crazy. So I don't have one here in the studio to show you, but I do have a video of it and can tell you a little. Well, let's let Mr. Andrew Marweed tell you about the Splatterstone Steady BL. Now, to preface this, Andrew Marweed is one of the best putters in the world and arguably the current reigning champion of that title, because there are a lot of different ways you can look at that statement, but I think C1X is probably going to take the cake in terms of just people referring casually to who's the best putter in the world. Well, in 2022, Andrew Marweed shot 94%, a little over that. I think it was like 94.3% in C1X, and was the number one in the world with that stat. So
like
we made
on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, not C tiers.
Right. And not playing like 4 events, like
playing lots of events.
Playing a ton of events. So to commemorate that achievement, we did a limited run of putters, and Andrew did a Splatterstone run with Great Lakes last year. So we wanted to do something like that again. So here you go.
Got the new putter that DGA made to commemorate my Circle 1 putting stats, the Splatterstone Steady BL. This run is a little more grippy than last year, but still that nice firm Splatterstone plastic that you guys all love.
Wow, what a great video. Just another piece of inspiration from the DGA marketing team.
Andrew did answer one of my questions, was how does the grip compare to last year's Andrew Marweed series? And if they're a little more grippy, that's pretty compelling, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's still stone, but they're definitely not as... See, and I don't like the words like soft, and I don't like the word slick, so I wish there was better adjectives to describe them. But yeah, so I think saying that they're more grippy than last year's is probably the best way to do so. So you can go to discgolf.com. We dropped those last night at midnight, so those are available right now at discgolf.com. please go pick those up to help us honor Andrew's accomplishment for the rest of 2023. He can legitimately say that he is the reigning best putter in the world, which is crazy because when you think about how many amazing putters there are. It's unreal though when you watch him in person. I know I'm not saying anything we haven't all said already, but it's truly wild to see how confidently and easily he makes putts from 50 feet in. It's mind-boggling. Thank you, Sean. Okay, and I think that brings us to the Tour Series, right?
Tour Series.
This is the most media-heavy live stream that we've had, for quite a while. So let me give you... I got 2 pieces of content for the Tour Series. Let's check this one out. Wow, what an inspiring piece of content from the DGA marketing team. Incredible stuff. All right. So lastly, we have, I'm going to make these for every single one of the team. But in addition to that, kind of showing all 6 of them, I wanted to make a little bit of a feature or spotlight about every single one of the 6 discs. So the first one that I made is Katrina's. This has never been seen before. Enjoy.
Here with my 2023 Tour Series sale. Man, a little more dome to these this year. Feel like they're going a little farther. And I'm going to love this for rollers, tailwinds, or just easy distance.
Wow, just really inspiring, amazing content from the DGA marketing team. 2 thumbs up. Let's start there since we have a feature ready on that one. We have the Uber Domi Glidey Tour Series sale. Man, look at that.
Those look like a lot of fun.
I was going to say, this is dead flat. It looks like I'm holding it like this, but that is dead flat, and it is so domey. Just the whole shoulder is just one continuous arc over.
It's one really smooth dome.
That is a smooth dome right there. And they were flying so beautifully. This one is max weight, but they fly. Well, they're not understable, but I mean, a sail's a sail, right? They're not
compared to relative to a sail,
right? Relative to any other sails, they're not super flippy. But I feel like they've got the glide on them that like our 150 class sail does. Which I don't. You probably haven't messed with those. I've always had one. Oh look.
Yeah. No, I have an orange one. I throw
you do?
All the time. Yeah.
I've got this 150 class sail because with minimal effort, if you get it going straight, it just stays in the air for quite a bit longer due to its decreased weight. And also a pretty good dome on this one. Actually, look, you can really see the difference though. If you can tell how much more domey that is than that. Yeah. Wow, that is actually crazy. So that's probably, I mean, I'm no Scientologist. Sorry I said that.
Oh, boy.
But that could be one of the biggest factors just right there. You've got more weight, so it should be getting to the ground faster in theory, but also an increased dome keeping it in the air. So if you want a max weight sail that's going to stay in the air, according to this guy, as long as your 150 class does, get the new Tour Series sail. You can't yet because you weren't at Memorial, theoretically. But soon. Get ready. Okay. Full flight clips. Yes.
Coming soon.
But today, no. Tomorrow, also no. It's Saturday. Don't make me work on the weekend, Sean. What is the weight range on the Tour Series? I didn't see too many in the 160s. I think it's mainly some lighter and heavier stuff.
Yeah, I think you'd be able
low
to find
170s.
low 170s. 170, 172 is the sticker we use for that kind of range. So I think one of those would be great.
Kelly's in the chat. Let me see. I haven't seen any, but I'm not privy to what was ordered. Hang on, let me see.
Having thrown a good amount of sails, seeing a sail like that weight class with that kind of dome makes me think you could throw it at like 55 or 60% power and get the same flight as like a hard thrown pipeline or something. It's like, oh, you don't have to like throw your arm out to get good distance. Just let the disc do the work, and you'll be in the same place as you would throwing a full power shot with something else.
Mm-hmm. Jed, I don't know what that means. Doesn't seem fair to have Noah drop Icequakes before, or to Noah to have the Icequakes drop before the Tour Series release. It could be said the other way around, right? If it had happened the other way. It's just production schedules and what hits when. We're just trying to get people's stuff as fast as we can. So no, yeah, it's not an issue of what's fair and what's not. It's just an issue of when we get them and when they go out. Because yeah, like I said, if these had dropped and then the Icequakes come out, it could be said the same the other way. So it's just a byproduct of scheduling, unfortunately. That said, let's talk about the Noah Meintsma board flat, basically first flight Quake. Very cool stamp. All of the artwork on this year's Tour Series is based on the disc icon itself. So if you're not familiar with our lineup, every single disc has its own little icon, and those will be, shown like the bonsai, the sail. It's kind of like it's an illustration based on the little icon, which was Scott's idea and a very good one. I'm really stoked on the whole theme from this year. Noah's Tour Series Swirl Quake is the other one that we were talking about earlier. Like, you can... I wish I could show you just how flat this is. If I tilt it, you can almost... Yeah, right there. You see that? You can almost see like it's almost even a little puddle topped. It's just dead flat and so overstable. Cool stamp. Appreciate the continuity of icons. Yeah, that's been a fun, we don't see... I don't want to give them any ideas, but I don't see any other manufacturers doing that, kind of individual sub-brands for every single one of their molds. And that's something that DGA has always done and is a very fun thing we can promote. Whenever we have discs going out, we can put its own little brand on it in addition to our logo.
I think it looks
Noah might
sweet.
spot.
How do they? Real quick, have also thrown the Midnight Flyer Quakes, which were also really beefy. I could see that being a question folks would have. Yep. How's it compare to those?
The new ones are more stable than this, more overstable than this. I'm trying to see, because this was kind of like top 3 flattest Quakes that we had when it came out, if not like second behind the first flight.
Yep, that's a great shot there. You can see those are just a little flatter.
Oh gosh, I can't. I'm making millimeter adjustments with this disc to try and get it just right. You know, the best way for you guys to be able to tell is going to be, you know, buying this when it becomes available. So I recommend that you do. That's kind of cool with the pink behind it. You can see that it's a little bit translucent.
You can kind of see the swirls.
Very fun. Beefy. Beefcake. Get one later. All right. Those are probably the 2 that I know the most about. Now I will go with the Hypercane next. Austin Hannum's Tour Series Swirl Hypercane, because this one was also domey. There's kind of a theme of dome with the Tour Series disc. Oh, wait. Hang on. Rewind. I wanted to talk about how amazing this feels.
Oh, yeah.
I can't really describe it to you. I mean, everybody knows everybody can probably relate to a disc feeling bad in your hand, because, you know, they're separate parts, right? So there's always that flashing. There's always that line of separation there, but it just doesn't exist on these. It feels like one just smooth. That when we got down to spinners and we started opening up boxes, that's the first thing I picked this up and I said, wow, whoa, that feels so smooth. Like the whole, you know, the rim of it just feels amazing. And so like, it's like the disc version of a stress ball, you know? I'm just going to have one of these around so that I can, you know, and Scott's like, where's that video? I can just pick this up and be like, it's going to be okay.
I'm assuming it's similar, but like the grip on these Trevor breakers is really nice too. It's just a little more grippy than maybe our typical SP.
Yeah.
And I'm really liking that.
Yep. Austin Hannum's Hypercane, a lot more dome than the typical Pro line. I think I have a Hypercane that I bag.
So closer to the first flights then.
Yeah, here we go. More, but so check this out. Here is this is a first flight. So this is going to be the best comparison, because these were nice, good flyers compared to the Protos. These stayed in the air a lot longer. So now you can see how much more down here. Maybe I should just set it on. Yeah. Well, that's cheating.
Kind of.
It's covering up. It's covering up the dome, but still, I think it's pretty visible. But this one has got a lot more dome. And that's the report as well from people throwing both of these, that this is still a beefcake. It's still a Hypercane, you know, but it's going to stay in the air even longer than like the Pro Line Hypercane that we ran.
I've actually put Hypercane back into my bag recently. I'm going to start beating up one of those first flights again, and because I was thinking the other day, it's like, man, I haven't been throwing that as much lately, and that's definitely a wind fighting bomber is useful here in the flat, windy plains of Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that looks like a great flyer.
The Austin Turner Bonsai. I think this, if I had to pick a stamp, I think this is probably my favorite of the Tour Series stamps this year. Very fun. And again, if you know the icons, you'll see. So the pipeline, the hurricane, and the bonsai, I regret to report, I'm trying to remember. I have interviews with each of the 6 of them talking about their Tour Series discs and kind of saying what they like about them. So that information will be revealed. I just don't remember off the top of my head, what was said. I think there's an overall theme of all of these are pretty glidey and domey. The pipelines was very straight. I know a lot of people are really going to want to know. Here, let me just do these last 3. Austin Turner Bonsai, be super fun. The Cole Redolin pipeline.
Whoa.
There's a little surfer Cole.
That's
in
rad.
The icon there. Also very domey. And then this is the like candy apple. This one kind of sacrifices the ability to see the stamp because of just how freaking sweet the disc was with the swirls on it. I had to get this one. Shasta called it the blood splatter, like blood saw foil. Looks like some sort of horror movie vibe.
Interesting.
So I know a lot of people are going to be asking about the Hurricanes because that's probably the disc that I see talked about, like run-to-run stability the most in our entire lineup is like the 2020 Shasta Canes versus the 21s versus the 22s versus now the 23s, the 2019s. Like, what's it gonna, where's it gonna stack up? And I don't know.
I'm still throwing my last year's Andy cane as my primary forehand Hurricane and maybe a wind fighter Hurricane.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the Tour Series. There's 6 of them, the most that we've ever had. Very exciting. And they will all be on discgolf.com and your local retailer soon. There's no global launch date for those yet, but we're working on it. Okay, so Trevor Harbold, SP Flex Swirl Breakers, Andrew Marweed, Splatter Stone, Steady BLs, Austin Turner, Ice Quake, and then all 6 of the Tour Series Swirl discs in the Tour Series. I think that almost catches us up to new releases. We spent the whole hour basically talking about that.
Yeah, it's been a busy spring.
Yeah, lots going on. And the funny thing is, probably even this time next week, we're going to be talking about other new discs coming out. I will be leaking on DGA Live today something. So stay tuned. Don't leave in the next 10 minutes because it'll happen. All right. WACO's happening. We got 7 players down there. You want to chat about FPO? Our own Allie Smith. We have 2 world champions down there.
Yep.
Team DGA. We have.
They might be playing with each other tomorrow.
They are on the same card tomorrow. Allie already texted me.
Nice.
Which is awesome because I know Allie. I'm excited to see Allie and Katrina become friends because so far, Allie is like, oh, I said hi to Katrina today. There's definitely like, because Katrina is, legendary. Katrina is iconic. So if you're just coming up in the sport, Katrina's been at the top of the game for a decade. So to be on the same team, to get to hang out at the team gatherings and now to be on the same card, it's got to be a pretty cool experience. I'm happy for you, Allie, but also you deserve it, for all the hard work that you put in over the last couple years improving your game. And I know touring this year, Allie's got the skill set. She could get wicked good, like real fast.
I feel like her backhand is like 75 to 100 feet further than it was when we first met up and played Waterworks with her.
Yes, I just commented that yesterday. I don't remember what the hole is at the Beast. It plays along the water, but it looks like a pump. And she's throwing backhand form. And when we met her, her backhand form was a little awkward because she was an ultimate player and was, forehand dominant and was basically learning backhand from the ground up. And when I saw that clip yesterday, I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks like an elite level backhand, like super far, a ton of
Super
power,
smooth.
and it looks so smooth. That's the biggest takeaway, I think. It hasn't always looked smooth, and the easy distance that she wasn't getting before, the distance she was getting was kind of, she had to work for it. Well, now her form is to a place where she's letting her body and letting the disc do the work. So Katrina obviously needs no introduction in terms of how amazing she is. She had a little bit of a rough go at different points there today, but managed to keep it all together and is still only 7 strokes off of first place.
Did you see that birdie putt on 5?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, with a couple
or par putt. Yeah.
Mega highlight. Well, there was 2 circle putts that I saw. Let me open up her stats here. She had, she made, what am I seeing here? I always have to remember how to read this. Am I seeing that she made 2 of her circle 2 putts?
Yep. It looks like she had 6 and she made 2. She made the one on 5 to save a par after a rough hole, and then the other one on 12 for a birdie.
50 feet. Yeah, I saw that one, and I saw everybody clapping. She had a giant smile on her face as she walked that one down. 50-foot putt's a big deal, even if you're a pro and it's your job, right?
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of weeks she's been averaging like 80 to 90% C1X. Today she's at 67% C1X and 33% C2, which is pretty freaking solid. So
yeah, managing to stay clean. It looks like 1 OB throw on hole 17, and other than that, just missing 1 other fairway, which is
it's 70% fairway hits.
Thank you. Okay, I was
clean.
seeing that other X. That was just a scramble that she missed.
Yeah, she was like that close to having a killer round today. It was just like off by a hair here and there.
Which that's this course, right? There's going to be, just a fractional difference between 9 under and 2 under, frankly.
And her and Allie and Kat are a few strokes back, but there's a whole bunch of people there.
Yeah.
At 5 to 2, so it's really anyone's game still.
Now, Allie made all her money with her approach shots, it looks like, because she had, in her drives, she was 95% fairway hits. Incredible on that course. But then you see how short every single one of her putts was, right? She only had a few circle 2 putts. So a great driving. Yep.
If you've seen her, she's got a video up on our YouTube channel about how she does those approach shots with both the breaker, and then she really likes the stone steady on forehand approaches, and she is just money.
Yep. Yeah, that ultimate Frisbee background. She is always, even from like month 3, Allie's had an elite level sidearm approach game. So I just flipped it over to MPO here. Look at all the names that I have favorited. It's so wild and cool, for us not to just have 1 to 3 players at these events, but we've got, 7. So Cole, he's actually still out on the course. He is putting for par on hole 17 currently, but man, look at that front 9. Just 7 under after 9. Crazy start.
Yeah, 8 through 10.
8 through 10. Let's see where he's making his ground up here. 88%
66 footer.
fairways. Ooh,
Wow,
okay.
he had a circle 3 throw in.
Yeah.
Birdie.
That's funny. Yeah, and again, also just one out of bounds throw for him on 15, which resulted in a bogey. His only bogey of the day so far was due to that out of bounds throw. Marweed, Turner, Meitzma, and Hannum, just again, so many people. Everybody from even to currently 9 under. So everybody, you know, like what they say, you can't win it, but you can lose it. Everybody, you know, doing what they need to do. And there Cole just made his par putt. So good luck, Cole, on the last hole of your competition. And good luck to Team DGA the rest of this weekend competing down in Waco.
You missed an important stat on Andrew Marweed's page. He is 100% C1X. I can only dream of playing around where I go 100% in a C or B tier or an A tier.
Crazy.
Maybe, much less a DGPT.
How did
where
he?
every stroke counts.
Okay, but tell me this: how do you? Oh no, they just corrected Cole's score to a bogey on 17. Dang it!
Oh,
how do you get a double and a single?
you just
so
go
like,
OB.
okay,
it wasn't
so
a
like
putting problem. It was
it wasn't a putting problem. By the time he
driving
got
problem.
to the green, he made it immediately. So it was those challenges happened earlier on. Okay, I'm with you. All right. Well, thanks. But we shouldn't have flipped back over there because we made Cole's score go up.
Nope, it was
That's how
going
it
to be
works, right?
that was going to happen either way.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right. Jed, yes. All right. Thanks for watching DGA Live. My name is Tyler. The spoiler was just leaked. The savvy were paying attention and we'll figure it out. We'll be talking about that more coming up. Ben, have a great weekend. Always good to see you. Thank you for those of you who showed up today. Still a good number. Half of our faithful following chose us over watching the broadcast live. So, or I'm sure some of you are watching both, but thank you. We appreciate it. It will be an ongoing thing this season as more and more tournaments happen every weekend, that there'll probably be some kind of live golf happening on a lot of these DGA lives. So thanks for choosing us. For the Disc Golf Association, my name's Tyler.
I'm Ben Sorensen, and throw DGA discs
at DGA Baskets. Have a great weekend. Gosh, we're getting so freaking good at that.
Yeah, I mean, we've just always really been, pushing the mold on what's possible on a live